Well, hello, not chat. I have been rewarded for my diligence, because you see, I did not know where my last bottle of tea was, and then I came into my recording closet, and lo, my tea was sitting on the floor next to me. So now, I get my nice tea, and I get to make some Gumroad content. Just as God intended, basically. So this thread is brought to you by the fine posters of the Autistic Thunderdome on the Kiwi Farms and the Deep Thoughts board about the Indian menace. This is a collection of content, mostly from this thread, highlighting the human cost of the continued existence of the state of India. Now, I should point out that Gumroad is ran by Indians. So, not all Indians, hashtag not all Indians, specifically the Indians that run Gumroad, are great people, wonderful people, and I really don't know too much about India, but the existence of India has become a point of contention on the internet because there are so many Southeast Asians who are now online, and I think there's something like 100,000 new people like joining the internet every year or every month or something. It's like every day. It's like a lot of people are coming online for the first time every day, and a lot of that is Southeast Asia. So there's a culture clash, more serious than any culture clash we've ever seen. And these Indians, if there's one thing that Indians have, it's the hustle. Indians, like all Asians, enjoy money. And Indians are particularly good at getting money, which is why I think Indians are the most paid minority demographic in the United States. They all have like a six-figure salary. So they're good at the hustle. Let's respect that. But the actual Pajeets back in hometown who don't got the hustle, well, their conditions are not so great. Let's take a look. Now, as I said, some Indians are based, such as this kid.
I do not associate with niggers.
But the rest of them, we got some issues. As Lovecraft says, wherever superior races have absorbed large doses of inferior blood, the results have been tragic. Egypt is one case, and India presents a still more loathsome extreme. The Aryans in India were too late in establishing their color-based caste system, so that today the culture of the Hindu is probably the most thoroughly repulsive on the planet. The more one learns about India, the more one wants to vomit. Aside from the few professional minds, as I mentioned, the fine executives who run Gumroad, the Indian people represent such an abyss of degeneracy that extirpation and fumigation would seem to be about the only way to make Hindustan fit for decent people to inhabit. And Hindustan was, I think, one of the original ideas for the names of India. The name of India, I think, is a uniquely English concept, which is why they're thinking of changing it to like um some other shit. It's not Hindustan, but here's some shocking facts. 84% of Indians live on less than $7 a day. A quarter of Indians live on less than $1.20 a day. India has 30 million stray dogs. India leads in rabies death, approximately 20,000 a year. India has 5 million stray cows. Approximately 100 million Indians reside in slums. And to put that in perspective, that's like more than a quarter of the entire U.S. population. Imagine if you took all of the West Coast and just dumped them into this river of trash. And that's basically India. And 29% of Indians are undernourished. And oh, I forgot the one above that. 39 out of 50 of the world's most polluted cities are in India. And not listed on this, I think there's out of like the top 10 dirtiest rivers in the entire world, I want to say like 8 of them are in India. The most polluted is the Yangtze River in China, but India's pretty high up there. It is literally a burning trash fire. The Gazipur landfill, which is considered the largest in the world, is currently on fire. Imagine the fucking smell, chat. And this is the Ganges River. Not quite as polluted as the Yangtze, but definitely fucking up there in terms of absolute trash. Just like shocking. And nobody cares. Like nobody bothers to just pick this shit up. How fucking hard would it be? Too hard, apparently. Complicated by the fact that India is one of the worst countries in the world in terms of outdoor defecation. The number of Indian households that actually have sewage is shockingly low. And what's especially shocking is like the areas that have toilets are like the tourist locations or like not Indians. Like you get up closer to Kashmir and then you're where the Pakistanis are, they got toilets. You go to the far east where you're near Burma or whatever the fuck it's called now, and they got toilets. You go to the southeast where it's like the Tamils, I think. I think the Tamils are on the other side near um Cyclone or whatever the fuck. They got toilets though. I think that's just because so many tourists visit that area, but they got toilets there. Many Indians, when introduced to the toilet, do not know how to react. They say, "First toilet ever in our village. So proud of my father." People are amazed by the beauty of the commode. The flush is a symphony. Really beautiful language from these young men. And they even have a little bidet hose. Isn't that nice? They're so happy. Some people don't know what to do with the toilets, though. Indian villagers worship. This is a very old meme. Indian villagers worship newly built toilets instead of using them. Well, it is so beautiful. How can you blame them when they are so awestruck by the beauty of the commode? Defecation, of course, is the most well known things. I mean, I guess they're known for like tech, like taking over tech industry, but they're well known for pooping. They built a statue to one of the Hindu gods in Brampton, and it has been littered with poo. And I don't know if that's like an offering to the god or if they're just like in the area and they're like, well, um, I gotta put. Oh, I guess it is an offering because the local Hindu priest says open defecation is an ancient Hindu custom. By the way, when I was piecing this together, a lot of the screenshots that I had to work with for news articles kind of seem suspicious. So whenever possible, I will try to open the original article, and a shocking number of them are just from indiatoday.in. Like they're not fake. They're just like it is what it is. Now India got into a lot of trouble for doping in the Olympics. Uh, Though so did a lot of other countries. U.S., Mexico did, but India topped it, which is a little bit shocking because in this year's Olympics, not a single gold medal. A country of 1.5 billion people, the most populous country in the entire world, they did not win a single gold medal. I think they won one silver medal. So the the Indian people, not that I should be speaking on this, but the Indian people are not the most physically gifted people in the world. One thing I don't actually have a slide up for. Actually, I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna fucking because I'm not live streaming. I can pause. I'm gonna pause and boom. So when I first heard of this, it was 2006, and if you search about this, you'll find old articles. But this one's from 2023. The author Madhavi Rayadhayakshka writes, Indian men do not measure up. Scientists at the country's premier medical research institute have just concluded an extensive 2-year study of the penis sizes of Indian men. In the next months, they will recommend condom sizes that are right for the Indian population so as to reduce the rate of failure. The data is still being collected and analyzed by the Indian Council of Medical Research, but preliminary findings indicate that condoms available on the market are oversized. This might actually be a direct copy paste, even though it's in the official Times of India from one of these other articles that are much older. So the condoms, if you don't know, there's a standard size for condoms. Condoms are a particular size, and there are the penises of 6 and 10 Indian men were 5 to 6 inches long, and 30% were between 3.9 and 4.9 inches. However, most condoms are for a hopeful 6 inches to 7 inches. So that's like the standard size for a condom in the world. And all condoms are the same. Like the UN makes these for birth control and hands them out wherever they can. But the Indian population is so small that they have to make a special Indian size because it doesn't fit. And if it doesn't fit correctly, then it tears or falls off and defeats the purpose of wearing the condom. So in other words, you won the lottery at birth. There is a 25% chance of being Indian. If you aren't Indian, you arguably won the best lottery on earth. Fuck the money. Very, very inspirational words. Sufyan on Twitter asks, I do not get why all of a sudden white people whose most loving Indian allies become haters of them. What is the reason? Is it because of politics or what? Aren't the West always sing praises of India? Now all of a sudden it is cursed land? Can someone explain me? I have frequently wondered aloud even, why China is China? Why is India not China? India has more people. It arguably has more resources. The Indian land is not as hostile as the Chinese land is. And more importantly, in my speculation, India is a Western. I mean, technically, India is like a third way neutral country that's completely. It's supposed to. It's trying to be like Switzerland. It doesn't want like a close association with the East or West, but it hates China, and it's a democratic country. So why is India India, and why is China China, and why is India not China, and why is China not India? And I've always thought that was weird. But the answer is, India has Indian people, and China has Chinese people. Quote erat demonstrandum. Kit Boga.
Hi, David. Do you have a general idea of what your IQ score is?
IQ score? I believe 7 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, 7 or 10. I would have guessed a little bit
Mm-hmm.
higher, but wow. Okay.
Kit Boga has perhaps done more damage to the Indian people than Queen Victoria. His his videos exposing scammers from like New Delhi and shit has just done horrific damage to the reputation of India as a whole. I've watched some recent videos of his, and they're all mostly focused on Nigerians now. So I wonder if like the reputation of being like the Indian destroyer, the the Bhagavad Vishnu, I've now taken my many armed forms. I am the destroyer of worlds. I wonder if like that reputation has like frustrated him, and now he's trying to like say, oh look, Nigerians are also terrible people. But it's not that they're always taking L's. The Indian people are basically as good as Italians, as it says here from Tassel Scotch and True Unpopular Opinion. Indian and Italians are culturally similar, but Italians get away with a lot because they're better looking. You know, I've been thinking, and I've realized that men from Italy and India are culturally more similar than people think. Same concept of boundaries and personal space. When it comes to how men interact with women, very touchy with women, gawk a lot, compliment them a lot, catcalling, etc. Even maternal relations, Italian men are commonly said to be very close with their mother. Same case for Indian men. I just saw a video of an Italian waiter licking pasta sauce off a female customer's face, and she called it cute. Can you imagine if that happened in India? The BBC would make another 3-hour documentary about it. I think it's a matter of tact and consent, but we'll get to that in a second. Though as a proudly 1/3 Italian man, I find this offensive. So Indians have taken over the world. A list of notable Indian origin CEOs: Google, Sundar Pichai; Microsoft, Satya Nadella; IBM, Arvind Krishna; YouTube, Neil Mahan, familiar name; Adobe, Shantanu Narayan; Vimeo, Anjali Sood; Starbucks, Narasimhan; FedEx, Subramaniam; VMware, Raghura; Palo Alto, Nikesh; and NetApp, George Kurian. Well, I wonder if it will stay that way. This is a post by Owen Benjamin, which I'll read in full for you. The real truth about India would shock people. I'm getting tons of information about it now. Their deceptions could literally tank the world economy. Someone who knows just wrote me this. I did market research for a while. I discovered something about Indians. You know how all these industry reports have these predictions for market growth, like the global refrigerator market is expected to grow at 5.23% through 2030. If you try to trace where those stats come from, they all come from like 5 market research agencies based in India, and the way they work is they just make the shit up out of thin air. I tried to hire one of them. I even got a phone call. I got them to send samples. I proved beyond reasonable doubt that their reports are utter bullshit. And they charge like $5,000 for one copy. And I know legit analysts on Wall Street who buy them and put them into their PPTs for making serious investment decisions. The Indians publish the same report on refrigerators or water pumps or whatever, and if you get different copies from different years, you realize there's 150 pages of the exact same shit with numbers changed a bit and words changed a bit. Staggering levels of bullshitting. Another anecdote from a young Indian engineer who came to work with me in Toronto for a bit. In India, if you're trying to get a meeting with the boss or some big manager of a firm, you don't get to meet them right away. You go to where they work, and the secretary makes you wait in the lobby. You wait from morning until afternoon, only for someone to come out and tell you that the boss is too busy that day and that you should come again tomorrow. You repeat the same process tomorrow, only after a few days of this ritual humiliation does the boss deign to allow you his presence. And needless to say, the whole time the boss is not busy at all, but probably picking his nose and swatting flies in his office all day. Very Fight Club-esque. No wonder why the Indians are such alpha males. The research companies all flood Google search with their reports, and they have misleading names like Grandview Research. Their address is listed as London, England, and their list of management are all these WASP names and pictures, but once you call them, you realize it's India and Indians. Try Googling the market for industrial pumps projection and see for yourself. It's shocking, but after it, I had some odd respect for that level of hustle and thought, how broke do you have to be to try to pull off something like this, man? And for the meetings, I'm talking about a scheduled meeting. Like if you agree to meet Monday at 10 a.m. to discuss a business deal, and you know your subordinate worker will have to spend a week in the lobby to get to talk to the boss around Friday afternoon. Interesting. Surely these business practices could not harm anybody in any way. Bloomberg says Apple discovers microscopic traces of urine and feces of bovine origin in new iPhones made in India. Report. Now, I could not find... they got an Indian author for this. Sankalo Pritval. I could not find this original article, but I did find two other articles confirming it. Indian iPhone plant found highly hazardous to worker health in previously secret report. And this article is interesting because I remember when this plant was opened in India, it was a big deal because tensions with China had just kind of heated up a little bit, and these companies were trying to find working factories and stuff in India to get production up outside of China. And the first plant that they opened in India has been shut the fuck down. Apple puts Indian phone plant on probation after mass food poisoning. I think I also read this on a stream before. It's actually from 2021. I thought this was from December the same year. So they shut this down at the end of the year in 2021. And then they still find that the plant is highly hazardous to worker health and secret report. So this is the same protest, I imagine, that food safety and accommodation reports. So it's like, it's the same fucking thing. They're still eating shit. I wonder if this will be referenced later in the stream, or not the stream, but this video. The Raj Asthani guy says, in our developers India, oh man, our entire team has been replaced by Vietnam developers. We have been working for this client for almost 1.5 years, and everything was going well. 2 months ago, they replaced the director of engineering from India with the Vietnamese director of engineering, and things started to change and has been replacing each Indian developer with even the US-based developers on the client side. Our entire development team has been replaced. They can barely speak English. Oh, well, you know how it feels. Compared to Indian developers, they cost very much less, and they are working almost 12 hours a day. So I guess if your only selling point is that you're very cheap, Vietnam's got you beat. This also was weird. This is Peter Kyriazopoulos saying, this is the first for me grabbing lunch. One person in the kitchen preparing in my cashier virtual physical location Pakistan. I guarantee you he's not getting Ontario minimum wage. So this is really fucking bizarre. I hate even like those self-checkout terminals and stuff. I guess... What is the point of this? Like, I feel like this is creepier than the self-checkout terminal. Like, I get you're trying to cut down labor costs, but I don't know if this is the way to do it. I guess I shouldn't have included this, though, because this is Pakistan. The Indians get very upset if you confuse the two. So the whole house of cards might be falling. The whole Indian Pajit scam might be coming to an end. Just like whatever the fuck this is. Quickly, pull it toward... Oh, wait. Oh, no. Boom. Now, that's cool. Mr. President, the second tower has hit the ground. They have these really cool cows in India. They got like this fatty hump on their back. I've seen Sonny from the Epic Meal Food Review Show, whatever the fuck it's called. He's eaten one of those, and apparently they're really fatty, which I can imagine because they're pure fat. Indians have trouble fitting in on the global arena, the global stage. This is Prakash Kumar Chid saying, love and support for Israel from India, because real friend forever, in every moment. If Israel want to hire and train Indian youth as their army, then I also go ready to Israel. And then he tags specifically the Israeli Prime Minister, the Israeli Ministry for Foreign Affairs, and the IDF. And Anna from Israel says, no need to come, you have COVID. Now, how did this happen? How could India and Israel have such negative relations? As far as I'm aware, Indians love Israel because they also hate Muslims. So they have like this one-sided kindred spirit with them. But that's not neutral. The Israeli-made sewage stinking weapon not smelly enough to deter Indian protesters. Though Israeli security forces find it effective against Palestinians, Indian protesters prove more tolerant to sewage-stinking weapon named skunk. And this is a tankard filled with something that is literally disguised as, or described as rotting corpse smell, spraying down Indians who are dispersing, but not at the rate they would expect, given what the weapon is. Israel has other reasons, perhaps due to a milk shortage. State of Israel says Israeli women found around the country are donating breast milk for babies from southern Israel whose mothers were murdered or kidnapped and are missing. One nation, one heart. Now, this is, of course, about the terrorist attack in the music festival in India. There were some women that were taken, and other women stepped up to fill in the breast milk requirements for the babies that are left behind. And a Pajit decides to say, I want to drink this milk, sir. Please, love, from India, sir. Flag of India. So I guess this man was expecting that the government of Israel would package up some of this humanitarian breast milk and ship it to the middle of fucking India so this guy could drink it. I don't think they would do that, though. They would charge money for that. Indians speculate on perhaps if white women are more accessible in their future if Trump and J.D. Vance wins. Because if you don't know, Trump's vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, despite being a shoe-on-head fanboy, is also married to an Indian. If J.D. Vance wins the election and popularizes dating Indian women, would the surplus of white girls go to Indian men? As an American-born Indian, I would love to trade all the Poojas for hot blonde Jessicas that does Pilates. So if Vance wins and gets American men hooked on Poojas, I'll gladly take the hot blondes that become available. Good fucking luck with that. I think Indians are like universally despised. Like even like black women are like, oh, I don't want to date like an Indian. It's gross. So these are the responses to a naked woman painting by William Adolph Bargoru. I love you, and then there's a phone number, so he wants them to call. Hello, sexy dear friend. How are you? Like the concept of art is so far detached from these guys, they can't even tell that it's just like a painting. I kiss your full body. Beautiful girlfriend, how are you? I like you, I love you, I feel you all day, all night, everything. You, I need you to please come Bangladesh, I receive you. I think Bangladesh was the name of that island country. It's called like Cyclone before with English, but... Are South Asian masculinity a source of humor that has been well documented on the forum? Apparently, it's nothing but a giant cope sesh. Bruvanish99 says, do not let the racism of Canadian immigration Reddits get to you. We are winning, and the only thing that they have left to do is bitch online. Soon we will come on top as demographics change. We will become the new normal in these places. Focus on building stronger community bonds with your Desi brothers and sisters, and stop caring so much about what the Goa think. They are at their wits' end. Kind of fucking true. I'm going to be real with you. What about a Ukrainian woman, though? How about that? Shankar Varigali says, how to date Ukrainian women without going to Ukraine? Ukraine flag. To which Sophia Schmidt says, I think first she must not be Indian. kind of a base reply. Now, okay, so we can't get a refugee GF, and we can't convince Jessicas to white men to trade their Jessicas doing Pilates for pujas. But what about this? What about this? Dad sends me over to Ontario. I get a dorm room, free rent to any Jessicas. Only for girls, private or shared accommodation and a much affordable rent of 3. Wait! I just spoiled what this post is, but it didn't occur. Oh wait, okay. There's multiple rental options. Private or shared accommodations for an affordable rent of $300. 5 minutes walking distance to Bromella City Center, BCC Mall. Accommodation type apartment, private or shared room as per preference. 1 room in a 2 BHK. I don't know what that means is available. So rental option 1, private room, $500 Canadian dollars. Rental option 2, shared, $300 CAD per person, max 2 people in a room. Or rental option 3, for those who are okay with friends with benefits relationship, will get the free perks. Complete rent is free. Food expenses are also free. I can spend $200 Canadian dollars a month shopping for you. Note 1, in the second room, an Indian boy me is staying. Note 2, regular friends with benefits relationship. It will be maintained private and confidential, same as expected from your side too. If interested, drop me a message for more details and anything can be negotiated. So, free rent, girls, you just have to fuck an Indian man. What could you expect? Fucking an Indian man.
I want to see your boobs. Send me. Send me. I want to see your boobs. I want to see.
Charming. How about this guy?
Fucking hot, baby. You are so fucking hot. You are so fucking hot, baby. You are so fucking hot. You are so fucking hot. You are so fucking hot. I wanna press your boobs. I wanna press it.
I love how he's like playing with his own like boobs. That's weird. Now, let's see how valued a Jessica really is in India.
I'm at the beach and I want to show you guys the beautiful view. God damn, I can't even see the water.
Can't even see the water. Well, consider yourself lucky, because this woman wasn't. Wow, there's actually a guy, a one upstanding Pajit, out of this fucking mob of guys with their phones out. This one guy actually stands out and clears out space. And he's like Moses. Like, one guy saying, fuck off. Like, manages to dispel, like, literally 100 Pajits around him. Good for him. That guy's your future Microsoft CEO. I have a good feeling about him. It's kind of weird thinking that watching this, it's like there's so many cameras out, and then you realize that your perspective is one of those. Your view is one of those cameras being held up by a Pajit trying to get pictures of this woman's ass because they literally rip off her clothes. Crazy. Alright, well, the typical avenues of courting are unavailable to the average Pajit. Attempts to attract beautiful women are rebuffed. Bobs not being shown. Vagine not being given. Surely there must be some other way. This is a post, I think from, I don't know where the fuck it's from, but it says, I watched a documentary a couple weeks ago about a village in India where almost every girl is murdered at birth. The village had little boys everywhere, and one little girl. They were interviewing her mother, who said that her mother-in-law made her smother her first 2 daughters in boxes of sand, but she refused to do so with her 3rd daughter. The girl was sitting there listening to her mother describe the murder of her 2 older sisters. This mother was filmed in a different location the next day because her husband wanted to kill her after he found out about the interview. They also interviewed the town council, a group of men sitting in a small tent, who talked about how expensive daughters are, parentheses dowry, which is like a amount of money you have to give to the parents of a woman for her hand in marriage. This is still practiced in many Asian countries, including China. Though I think in China it's kind of formal, but some dads do. Like if they have a educated woman, they expect like $50,000 cash for the permission to get married. Now they cannot be educated. They may think they are equal to men and bragging about how none of them had daughters. It was so disturbing I couldn't wrap my mind around all those little boys who are just going to grow up and never marry, unless they can find a girl from a different village. And will also think women are only useful as home and baby makers. I feel an irrational anger at those smiling, beautiful little boys. So this is not fake. There is a documentary. India, a country that doesn't like women, sort of understating it. And this is a real thing. This is from Al Jazeera. India probes as no girl is born in 3 months in 132 villages, which raised some suspicions that they were doing gender selective abortions, or just killing their infants. And this, of course, was a thing in China during the one-child policy, where they would kill the daughters because men were expected to take care of their parents. The oldest son was. You only have one, so if you want an oldest son, you have to have a boy. That's how it goes. And to this day, there's a multi-million-dollar discrepancy between men and women in China, and they make up that difference by simply importing sex slaves from Indochina and Russia and stuff. But in India, I don't know what they're doing. I guess they just rape. They just rape. Such a jam, chat. All right, what do we rape? We rape lizards. Bengalese monitor lizard allegedly gang rape in Maharashtra forest held. A video of the alleged gang rape also found in one of the accused's phone. That is important, and we'll get to that in a second. There's also opium-addicted parrots terrorizing poppy farms in India. They probably need the opium to cope with the rape. By the way, they don't leave these cultural traditions in India when they go abroad. Indian man goes on a groping spree at Canada Water Park and gets arrested. A man with no regrets. I think these are Spaniards or Latin Americans who decided to visit India. They're speaking in Spanish, but the message here says, "Something has happened to us that we would not wish on anyone. 7 men have raped me. They have beaten us and robbed us, although not as many things because they wanted to rape me. We're in the hospital with the police. It happened tonight here in India." So be careful if you are planning a trip to India, especially as a fucking woman. Because India leads porn consumption on smartphones in 2019, and that is despite the fact that many sites are banned in India. India is the most porn-hungry country in the entire world. And what kind of things do Indian men like to jerk off to? Hold up, I need the thing again. Where is it? This is a woman who was raped and murdered. Her name is Momita. And when she died, the top search on just Google was for Momita video. Sorry, my Indian accent took over. Not just on porn on Google, but on porn sites. This is a common trend. This is on Outlook India, and it says, "How perverted is India? Kathua victim's name becomes top trending search on porn websites." Anushka Sharma, or that's her name, that is trending on X videos in India. And this is Slatsism, and says, "I will never forget the story of Dr. Priyanka Reddy, who was brutally raped, tortured, and burned alive in Hyderabad, India by a group of men. The footage of her rape and murder was up on porn sites like X videos, monetized and trending at #1 with over 8 million searches." And that's not just a rape, that's a murder, a rape and murder. There's more. Jharkhand, 3.5-year-old nursery student raped by school van driver in Jamshedpur. Delhi High School court finds father guilty of raping minor daughters for over 2 years, calls him monster. onlookers filmed drunk man raping Vizag woman in broad daylight. That's the one that, like, molestation and stuff happens all across the world. It's terrible. But the amount of rape that just happens in broad fucking daylight and gets recorded and posted on the internet in India is, like, absolutely absurd. Teen attending religious yatra gang raped in Tamil Nadu. Which, I mean, it's like, it's a religious ceremony, so it's like raping somebody at church, I suppose. Catholic bishop acquitted of raping nun in India. So this is, I don't know if you want to consider this a Catholic thing or an Indian thing, but they do have Catholics in India, and apparently raping nuns is a possibility there. 85-year-old woman dies after being allegedly raped in UP. UP is an acronym for one of their states. Trainee doctor raped and murdered in Kolkata. Massive protests erupt in West Bengal. At least they're protesting, but that's the Burmese portion of India. This I have played on stream, and I will not play all of it again. It's extremely creepy. This is a female streamer in Hong Kong. She's trying to get to a subway. This man is following her. She's obviously Hong Konger. He's Indian. He's like pulling out her shirt. He corners her inside. I don't know why she would go inside the subway with this guy following her. But he like literally slams himself up against her. And I'll spare the rest of it because it's very creepy. But they actually caught him because, surprise, when this shit happens in Hong Kong, they don't really take well to it. But he only got 3 months. Indian male jailed for 3 months for sexually assaulting South Korean life streamer. Sorry, I said she was Hong Konger, but she's Korean. Fascinating, chat. Being me, Pajit, born and raised in America, in a 6-year relationship with American-born. She breaks up with me. Want to kill self. Extreme depression for 2. So I'm like slipping into a caveman voice. I'm trying to do Indian. I went to kill myself. Extreme depression for 2 years. Indian parents want me to marry a nice Indian girl. Decide maybe that will bring some stability to my life and give me a reason to live again. They marry me to some Indian girl that I talked to for 1 hour on the phone. She has a master's degree, so decide she's probably fine. A couple months pass. I realize what the fuck I have done. She unironically says things like, "We are needing the potato and grocery. Are you the wanting breakfast?" We have nothing in common. She has bad etiquettes, and education has not inspired to be anything more than a wife that lives in the kitchen. Fucked up so bad that I gave my life away to a random chick. I have not done the needful, sir. Is there any way out of this? Divorce will ruin her life, and my family will banish me. Poor Pooh. I mean, if he hasn't done the needful, he can get the marriage voided, at least in the U.S. So, I don't know. When it comes to shit like that, if your culture is that fucking shitty, if you're one of these, like, genius Gumroad, if you're like one of these genius Gumroad CEO level, genius, smart, handsome Indian men, you probably should just fucking get rid of your culture. You should not do the needful with some retard. You should move on. Okay, let's talk about cousin marriages. Cousin marriages have been a part of the South Indian culture and tradition for centuries. They're often seen as a way to maintain family and community ties and strengthen family relationships. South Indian society has a strong emphasis on the caste system, which traditionally influences marriage choices. Here we have a look at marriage. Now, honestly, we're looking at this, and we shouldn't even be talking about South India. We should be talking about fucking Muslims, because Muslims love to fuck each other. They love fucking kids. Muslims love fucking kids, and they love fucking their cousins. They especially love fucking their cousins when they're a kid. Pretty fucking vile. Madhya Pradesh boy rapes sister after watching porn. Mother helps hide the crime. This is from India Today, so this is not a racist article. The police probing the rape of a 9-year-old girl in Madhya Pradesh's Rewa have found that her teenage brother sexually assaulted her after watching explicit content on mobile and then killed her. The accused mother and her 2 sisters helped the cover-up. That is fucking vile. I think Uttar Pradesh is what UP stands for. UP juvenile held for raping a 4-year-old. Girl 8 is gang raped and murdered by a group of boys aged 12 and 13 after being lured into a secluded area while playing in a park in India. This is Andhra Pradesh, if you're keeping track. What about when they come to the U.S.? Do they show respect to the kids here? Of course they do. They try to woo them with flowers and give them little pats on the head. This 40-fucking-year-old man. Yeah, that's creepy. We have this report, I think, in Canada. Hi, everyone. Our family has had numerous run ins recently in our area. The Thomas Slee Drive from our 10-year-old daughter and her best friend being nearly abducted at gun and knife point a couple of weeks ago by 3 men in a van on their way home from the park grow. Last night, my husband and I were at the park with the girls, and this man was at the park staring at their bodies. Oh. And being within reach for nearly 20 minutes while the girls played on the monkey bars. The girls were extremely uncomfortable and asked him to move and stop staring at them multiple times. He told them that he would not move and could stare if he wanted to. My husband and I intervened and started recording him as he refused to leave the girls alone. The man and woman do not have children. He was ordering the woman around the entire time. They barely spoke English, and the woman had looked ill and had 2 black eyes. It was all very weird. People need to start questioning this stuff. Dude, people are such fucking cattle. I'm at a point where I don't care about anything other than stopping this madness. I will not continue to allow it, and I will always intervene. And this is them. Literally in arm's reach. I thought that was an overstatement, but no, they're on the monkey bars. And he's like, yeah, check out that 8-year-old. Cool. Awesome. Indians parade bones, baby's corpse, and skull game. And this is on Sonia Palazzi, India. Villagers in eastern India state of West Bengal on Friday celebrated their new year by parading and dancing with unearthed human skulls and the corpse of a baby, prompting a police investigation. The Naramundo Kela, or skull game, is a ritual that appears to only take place in the village of Sonapalazzi. It is dedicated to Lord Shiva, the Hindu deity, who is depicted by a snake around his neck and marks the start of the Bengali New Year on April 15th. Well, how else can you start your new year without a dead baby, chat? And since I have talked about nothing but child rape for the last 30 minutes, I'll end this with a collection of videos that will be absolutely revolting to you, but in a kind of funny way. And this, of course, harkens back to the poo, the thing that India is known for, except the wonderful CEOs of Gumroad, who are not known for India and poo. They are known for making wonderful monetization platforms like Gumroad. The Indian Pyramid of Needs, molesting women, destroying every IT job, and street shooting. And we'll be taking a look now at street shooting, the most basic fundamental need of the Indian pyramid of need hierarchies. Let's play a clip here, a nice little meme to start us off.
Famous for their terrible body odor, the Pajee exudes a thick miasma around himself, smelling strongly of sweat, curry, smelly feet, and with a faint tinge of feces. This may be due to the traditional Pajeet method of cleaning themselves after they practice defecation. In stark contrast to methods used by the more civilized members of the human race, the Pajeet will simply wipe his bottom with his hand before splashing water on his hind regions in a futile effort to clean himself. Although, given how much of the water around him is itself polluted by feces, it's questionable if the Pajeet is ever really clean. Even when the migratory hordes of Pajeets travel to other parts of the globe seeking menial employment, perhaps as an Uber driver or food delivery worker, they often carry a bottle with them so they can quickly defecate and rinse their nether regions on the go. Perhaps the most bewildering of the Pajeets' characteristics is their proclivity for head bobbling. Thought by some experts to be an expression of their deep inferiority complex, Pajeets can often be seen bobbling their heads when they talk. It could be speculated that many of the bizarre eccentricities of the Pajeets of India may be due to the high rate of inbreeding that occurs within the country. This inbreeding results in a high rate of birth defects, although given how dysgenic and misshapen the average Pajeet appears to be, it would...
This is actually from like a 1 hour long, fully narrated by David Attenborough AI thing. It's really disgusting though. It's on Odyssey, and I would not advise watching it because there's like random bestiality sequences injected into it where they just cut to like Indians gang raping dogs. So it's kind of hard to recommend because it is a little bit over the line. Here we have the intermingling of cultures. It really is just such a beautiful thing to see these Western monuments to engineering, science, and the men who get to to elevate themselves and inhabit them. This is the Marinas Bay, the Sands Theater, and this man is just having a little bathroom break. Sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. We will see more intermingling of these cultures, forming a beautiful and unique strain of perfectly adjusted Indian American culture, such as this little parade in North Carolina. Cool. I wonder what else they're going to bring with them. Our Ontario, people are pooping on the beaches in Ontario small towns. I hate writing this, but it's getting out of hand. Just spoke to some family members in southern Ontario, and they went to visit them, and there are literally people pooping on the beaches all along Lake Erie. These are small towns, and most of them don't have bathrooms on the beaches, so instead of driving to a local Tim Hortons or planning their bowel movements to not be in public on a beach, these terrible people are just, well, pooping all over the beaches. What kind of terrible people? Mom Review 420? Trespassing on other people's property for photos of how beautiful Canada is, then leaving behind garbage. We're talking mounds of trash just being left behind on the beaches. Some residents try to talk to them, but the people don't speak English and just continue to litter massive amounts of garbage and take dumps on the beach. I love this because it kind of highlights that these people don't understand the correlation between people not taking shits on the beach and not dumping trash in the water and the beauty of Canada. The correlation just doesn't exist there in their brain. Sadly, the people pooping on the beach are all of the same demographic. New Canadians. Oh, that's a beautiful word. From India. They say the same thing in Germany. They say Neu Deutsch. New Germans. The fact that we have such a high demographic of Indian immigrants choosing Canada as their home means we need to have provisions in place to teach people the differences in our culture, such as the importance of hygiene and... I remember... I don't think we had to teach the Japanese that when we took over their country. Such as the importance of hygiene and other things we may have not been the same in their country of origin. Dematrix replies and says, this has been happening here in the Quinta area for some years now, really since COVID. That and leaving garbage, trashing the beach area are huge problems. I have seen it, and it's primarily people from the GTA area doing this. There have been beaches shut down here, like North Beach, and restrictions put in place for smaller non-Ontario park conservation areas. It is unfortunate, really. Move Forward 1212 says, I have been to Brampton. So shout out to Brampton. Two mentions of Brampton in one India-related stream. For a new job. 2 years past now, I've made the decision that I don't want to stay in Brampton. The amount of garbage is left in the parks after multiple groups of cricket players is upsetting. My dogs constantly find banana peels, chicken bones, and pizza crusts tossed along the sidewalk is another reason I'm going to move out of this B city ASAP. In my part of Ontario, we too have an abundance of new Canadians, which is fine. I'm not being racist here. I'm just pointing out that there's shit and litter all over the fucking place. Look, it's a cultural adaptation issue. But the 8 people who moved into the house behind the 8 people have managed to completely fill their backyard within 6 months worth of trash. I fear that if it is not cleaned up, my family will not be able to enjoy our backyard as the smell is already disgusting. I can't wait for rats and skunks to move in. They will be able to feast for life. Is this really a cultural thing, or is it just an Indian thing? This is a quote. This is a translation from a cookbook or something. He who serves Kina with the reverence and who follows them with humility succeeds in obtaining many invaluable boons from Kina, who becomes gratified with him. One should never, even in one's heart, do an injury to Kina. One should, indeed, always confer happiness on them. One should always reverence Keen. Is it Keen or Kina or whatever? And worship them with bends of one's head. He who does this, restraining his senses the while and filled with cheerfulness, succeeds in attaining to that felicity which is enjoyed by Kina, and which Kina alone can confer. One should for 3 days drink the hot urine of the cow. For the next 3 days, one should drink the hot milk of the cow. Having thus drank for 3 days hot milk, one should next drink hot ghee for 3 days. Having in this way drunk hot ghee for 3 days, one should subsist for the next 3 days on air only. That sacred thing by whose aid the deities enjoy regions of felicity, that which is the most sacred of all sacred things, viz., G should be born on the head. One with G, 8 of G, should pour libations on the sacred fire. By making gifts of ghee, one should cause the Brahmin to benedictions of oneself. So, first, drink pea, then drink milk, then drink. Ghee is like butter, right? So, drink butter, and then drink nothing, and then sacrifice butter. Okay. Consumption of Gumatra in Hindu scriptures. Hindus often claim that some people in their religion drink cow urine out of ignorance. They insist that nowhere in their scriptures is it mentioned to drink cow's urine. So let's look at some references from their scriptures about drinking cow urine. First, the Hindus may have forgotten about the Panchagavya. The 5 components of the Panchagava are milk, curd, ghee, urine, and dung. Panchagava is prepared from these 5 items, which is used by Hindus for various sacramental offerings, food, and other purposes. According to the Bhagavata Purana, translated by Swami Prabhupada, if you enjoy hearing me say Indian names, this is the fucking video for you. States that the 5 elements of Panchagavya are found in cows are milk, curd, ghee, dung, and urine, respectively. These are used in all rituals according to Vedic rules, directly read from the English translation done by Swami Prabhupada. Quote, if evil dreams are seen, men should take the names of kine. They should always bathe using cow dung at the time. One should sit on dried cow dung. One should never cast one's urine and excreta and other secretions on cow dung. So when you're filling your backyard up with trash, make sure, for the love of fucking Krishnu, that there is no cow dung in your backyard. If there is cow dung, you gotta make a separate pile. You gotta start shitting in the front yard. And don't give me, the Canadians are taking photos of me and posting them on Reddit. You know what the fucking Bravada Prashna says, okay? The Manas Mriti have also had provisions for drinking cow's urine and eating cow dung. Subsisting on the urine of cows, cow dung, milk, sour milk, clarified butter, and decoction of kusa grass, and fasting during 1 day and night that is called the Samtapana Krikra. And states that a twice-born man who is intentionally drunk through delusion of mind, the spiritist liquor called sura, shall drink that of liquor boiling hot. When his body has been completely scalded by that, he is freed from his guilt, or he may drink cow's urine, water, milk, clarified butter, or liquid cow dung boiling hot until he dies. I can see now why India loves Israel. Alright, here's just some fucking videos of Indians, okay? So this guy's cooking on the ground. There's a little ratatouille rat. There's a couple ratatouille rats scurrying about. So he's just deep frying some bread. There appears to be a rat just grabbing food out the. I mean, what's he supposed to do about the rat? I mean, he's hungry. This is fried cow dung, Indian street food. I'm gonna play like a second of this before I vomit. Okay, I'm gonna skip. Actually, I can't do it. They're putting the cow dung on. Frying it. Ugh. Okay, I can't do it. I'm sorry. So surprise. Tests on Delhi eateries show high levels of fecal matter in street food. The study by Institute of Hotel Management Catering and Nutrition, PUSA, shows high volumes of E. coli bacteria, which can cause severe infections in these snacks. If you were so far unable to fight the urge of digging into spicy, watery-filled crispy golgappas or steaming momos, here's a very strong and shocking reason. A latest study has found high fecal contamination in such food and junk food items, especially in several West and Central Delhi localities. Are you shocked? Are you shocked about the poo-poo? Oh, this guy is awesome. This guy is using his really sharp toenail to cut this meat. That's really ingenious. It's so efficient. Just use your tone. Oh wait, I thought he was literally using his toenail, but I see there's a knife that's pointing directly at the camera. So he's using a knife that he's holding with his toes. Very efficient though. Impressive. Now, this is like a giant pot being filled with water. Is that boiling? Okay. It is water, and they're filling it with curry. Wow, that's a really awesome bowl though. Like, I'm sure this is going to be fucking vile, but that's like a massive, like, communal thing with like a giant wood fire oven. Giant bags of rice, okay. Curry and rice so far. What's that on the blanket? Oh, that's money. People can throw money on top of the pot, okay. Everything looks cool so far. This is nice. I know that Indians, like, in Buddhism or whatever the fuck, I don't know if this is Hindu or Buddha, but it's like, feeding the poor is like a part of the religion, right? So let's see. We have a giant pot filled with rice and stuff so far. That looks like meat, some kind of protein, right? More rice. We're using a rope to stir it. That's kind of weird, but okay. Oh, they got a lot. Oh no. Oh no. What the fuck? I mean, even this is like. This isn't too bad. Okay, there's like curry everywhere now, though. They're really sloppy about this shit. I don't know. I kind of expected him just to like climb in it, but I mean he's out of it. It's kind of his feet are so close to it, but it looks like they measured it out precisely so that the rung of the ladder is right next to it. I'll give this the pass. As far as like needing to feed a bunch of people a lot of food, I mean, in like a super poor country, I'll give it a pass. That's not too bad, chat. All right, let's see this guy. Okay, he appears to be throwing hot meat into the pan. Ooh, really risky with the fingers. That oil is fucking gross, though. Dude, that oil, bro, that shit's fucking dirty. I don't want to hear anything about gutter oil ever again. Okay, he's making some naan bread, I assume. And it looks like he's cutting off a little bit of the side for the ratatouille rats. Oh, he's so gentle with them. I mean, it's only Indians eating it, so whatever. I guess his logic is that he's gonna boil this, right? Don't you like throw that in like a pot of like boiling grease at the end? Or no, not even. You just throw it on like a hot plate, it looks like. I was gonna say maybe he's just thinking like, well, it gets fried, so the rats don't matter. I don't know. Maybe he's just a gentle soul. He loves those rats. He doesn't want to say goodbye to them. After Pooja left him, the rats give him company. It's rough out there. Okay, this one is fucking vile. We have seen a man who loves rats. Now we're gonna see a guy who really loves rats. The music is the best part of this video, by the way. In case you can't tell, they're like boiled rats. This is pretty fucking gnarly. And this is like on a food channel. I love that the song is like, yummy. And it's just like fucking boiled rats and bread. Let's skip past. That's gross. Look like the same guy as before. He's still feeding the rats. They're just chilling. I wish I could hear I wish I knew what he was saying. That's really funny. Can I, oh my god. Hold up, I'm gonna try to record what he says on my phone, and then I'll read you the transcription, okay? Okay. I have a translation from this. I used the video transcribing tool to get a translation. The translation sucked. But then I threw it through Google, and now I have a translation that I am happy with. It starts off by saying, "You are offering prasad to Karni Ji. Kaba is eating the prasad. We eat this prasad no matter what kind it is, because it is ours." So I'm assuming that he's saying that we're gonna eat this shit no matter what the fuck it is, because it's our food, and I guess we don't have a choice, or we're happy with the way that it's turned out. Maybe they think that the rats add to the flavor. If they think that the saying that it's ours, it kind of implies, like, it sounds like it's a recipe. So I don't know. It could be like the rats add flavor to it, like Cartman's Asperger's in that one episode of South Park. This guy's using. Oops. Sorry, I had changed my audio driver so I could try to record audio to my phone. This guy appears to be dancing with his bare feet. Yeah, he's jamming, man. He's having fun. It's important to enjoy your work. It's as they say, if you enjoy your work, you never work a day in your life. Look how this guy's filming him. Like, even to him, this is like fucked up. Oh, he's busting in. He's probably pissed. And that's it. That's all the street food shit that I have. I could try and watch through the dung frying video, but you know what? I just don't have the stomach for it. I apologize. I hope you have enjoyed this Gumroad video. In which case I declared the entire. I remember back in the day when the Kiwi Farms was like new. I remember trying to set really hard rules about what is and isn't a locale. Because I remember that there were people trying to make like a locale thread on like the DPRK. I'm like, you can't call North Korea a locale. But we can't. We're getting pretty close to calling India a locale, I guess. It's pretty bad over there. Now, I don't know if I can figure out a way to beat more money out of people. If they have some kind of hustle idea for me, let me know. Until I get my Pajit startup idea from India on how to swindle old white men out of their fucking investment money, I will be continuing to do a Gumroad video every weekend until I'm all caught up. And then I'll be doing them once a month again. And thank you for your support of my hustle, my endeavor. I will be doing this. I shouldn't date things because if I say this in my video, it dates it, and then once it happens, it's over. But just to kind of give you a contemporary context for those listening to this in the future, I'm doing my stream with DSP tomorrow. So see you then. Bye bye, and thank you.